It started with a laugh, a single punchline buried between crowd roars and rainbow lights during Miley Cyrus' headline set at Dreamland Pride that sent shockwaves across the internet. "Should I bring JoJo Siwa back out of the closet?" she shouted playfully into the mic, smiling as the audience cheered, at least in the moment. But what followed wasn't cheers. It was confusion, then outrage, then a digital firestorm the size of a pride parade on steroids. By morning, the internet was ablaze. Twitter threads dissected every syllable. TikToks were flooded with queer creators reacting in real time, some stunned, others fuming. And in the middle of it all, JoJo Siwa, dancing in silence, subtly smiling, and posting cryptic captions as her identity, once again became everyone's business. To understand why this joke blew up the way it did, you need to go back, way back to when JoJo Siwa wasn't a queer icon, but just a hyper-energetic Nickelodeon star with giant bows and glittery shoes. The JoJo we all knew before 2021 was a pop culture machine, a brand built on rainbows, yes, but not in the queer way. Then, in January 2021, she broke the internet with one TikTok where she lip-synced to Lady Gaga's Born This Way, and a casual confirmation later that week, JoJo publicly came out as a member of the LGBTQ+ community. At just 17 years old, she became one of the youngest, most visible queer celebrities in the world. And for millions of young fans, especially queer kids who had no role models in that space, JoJo wasn't just a celebrity. She was a beacon. She didn't stop there. JoJo introduced her then-girlfriend Kylie Prue in interviews. She went to the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards in rainbow suits. She did it all with that same unapologetic, sparkly joy that defined her brand. She became the first contestant on Dancing with the Stars to dance with a same-sex partner. And she did it with pride, literally and figuratively. But JoJo's queerness wasn't just performative. It was a genuine personal journey, shared in real time with millions. Fast forward to 2025, and JoJo Siwa is now 22 years old. A bit more mature, still bold, still eccentric, but evolving. And with that evolution came new chapters, including her recent whirlwind romance with Love Island UK alum Chris Hughes. Paparazzi caught them holding hands in London. A beach photo here, a cozy dinner shot there, and suddenly the internet had questions. Was JoJo straight now? Was this just a phase? Had she changed her mind? And here's where things get messy. Despite years of public understanding, many people, yes, even within the LGBTQ+ community, still struggle to grasp bisexuality or pansexuality. JoJo never said she was a lesbian, but many assumed. And when she started dating a man, parts of the internet turned on her. Comments flooded her posts. TikTokers accused her of queer baiting. Entire threads popped up about how she let the community down. JoJo responded indirectly. She began posting vague captions about authenticity, truth, and how she doesn't owe labels to anyone. In interviews, she reminded people that sexuality is fluid and that love, real love, isn't gendered. But that wasn't enough for everyone. Some accused her of abandoning the very community that once celebrated her. Others felt betrayed, as if her new relationship somehow invalidated their trust. And it was into that firestorm that Miley Cyrus casually tossed a match. Now let's be clear, Miley's no stranger to the queer world. She's publicly identified as pansexual, supported LGBTQ+ causes for years, and even founded the Happy Hippie Foundation to assist homeless LGBTQ+ youth. She's long walked the line between rockstar provocateur and queer ally. But this time, the crowd didn't quite follow her lead. During her performance at Dreamland Pride, a massive celebration of queer life, love, and identity, Miley paused between songs, looked out at the rainbow-drenched audience, and said with a sly grin, "Should I bring JoJo back out of the closet?" The crowd screamed, the cameras rolled, and Miley moved on like nothing happened. But online, it didn't feel like nothing. In fact, within hours, it felt like everything. The clip went viral on X, formerly Twitter. Some fans called it harmless fun, a moment of cheeky camaraderie between two queer women. But others saw it as a form of public outing, a dismissal of JoJo's identity, and an accusation that dating a man makes her not queer enough. LGBTQ+ creators weighed in, pointing out that jokes like that feed into harmful bi-erasure. One popular queer influencer said, "If Miley really cared about queer visibility, she wouldn't joke about forcing someone back into a box they never left." Others added that for someone with Miley's platform, jokes like this can reinforce stereotypes that invalidate real identities. JoJo, for her part, remained mostly quiet. No long-winded Notes app apology. No clearing the air on IG Live. Just a cryptic Instagram story that said, "Just because it doesn't trend doesn't mean it isn't true." The next day, she posted a TikTok dancing to Miley's own song, Prisoner. Was it shade? Was it support? No one really knew. And in that ambiguity, the conversation got even louder. So here we are, two of the most visible queer women in pop culture. One making a joke, the other becoming the punchline. And the entire internet trying to figure out who crossed the line and who's just living their truth. The digital fallout was swift and fierce. Within hours of Miley's offhand joke, the internet split into camps, those defending her as an irreverent icon who's always been wild, and those demanding accountability for what they saw as yet another example of queer people policing each other. The phrase, "back out of the closet," hit a nerve, especially within bisexual and pansexual communities. Many felt like the joke wasn't just about JoJo, it was about the persistent and painful narrative that unless you're dating someone of the same sex, your queerness isn't valid. On Twitter, now rebranded as X, hashtags like "Our JoJo deserved better," "Our bi erasure is real," and even "Yo Miley over party" began trending, propelled by fans and creators who felt deeply betrayed by the moment. Some users posted side-by-side clips of JoJo proudly talking about her queerness in 2021, and then juxtaposed that with Miley's joke in 2025. The contrast was jarring. What felt like sisterhood years ago suddenly looked like mockery. One tweet, which received over 150,000 likes in a day, read, "JoJo Siwa had to defend her identity to the world when she was just 17. Now she's getting clowned at Pride by one of the most famous queer women alive. This ain't it." That sentiment echoed across platforms. On TikTok, creators, especially those in the LGBTQ+ space, began unpacking not just the joke, but the context behind it. Videos titled things like, "Why Miley's joke hurts so much," and "This is what bi erasure looks like" flooded For You pages. Each one told a personal story, each one made the impact feel more real, but not everyone saw it that way. A second wave of commentary emerged defending Miley, arguing that the joke was made from one queer woman to another in a space of celebration. "They're both queer, they both know the game, y'all are being too sensitive," one popular influencer said in a viral clip. Another added, "This wasn't straight people laughing at a gay person. This was Miley being Miley, chaotic, unserious, and unfiltered." These creators pointed out Miley's years of activism and public identity. As a pansexual woman, to them, this wasn't an attack. It was a tease. A moment of playful sarcasm between two icons. And in the middle of it all stood JoJo, silent, unreadable, and yet more scrutinized than ever. While fans argued about her, she continued to post short, vague messages on Instagram. "Love is not a performance. I don't owe anyone a label. Being true feels louder than being loud." None of these were direct responses, but each one added fuel to the fire. People wanted answers. Was she mad? Was she hurt? Or was she simply choosing not to engage with a controversy she didn't start? For some, JoJo's silence was admirable. See, like, sign of maturity. For others, it was frustrating. They wanted a showdown. But JoJo, ever the unexpected one, chose dancing. Her now infamous TikTok to Miley's track Prisoner became a Rorschach test for the internet. Was she trolling, showing support, expressing resilience? Dressed in a leather jacket and oversized sunglasses, she danced in her garage with a smile, detached, ironic, confident. No caption, no explanation, just vibes. And the internet, true to form, couldn't handle it. Some praised her for reclaiming the moment. Others called her out for not standing up for herself. But the truth is, JoJo had been doing that. Since the day she came out, she just wasn't doing it on the terms people wanted. Meanwhile, larger conversations took shape. LGBTQ+ creators began unpacking the deeper layers behind the controversy. This wasn't just about one joke. It was about a pattern of bi erasure in pop culture, a pattern where queer women who date men are viewed as less valid. A pattern where public figures are expected to pick a label and stick with it. No evolution, no nuance, no grace. JoJo's relationship with Chris Hughes became the lightning rod for all of this. Some accused her of abandoning the community by dating a man. Others reminded them that queerness doesn't disappear with a boyfriend. None, if you're loving this deep dive into celebrity drama, identity battles, and all the moments the internet can't stop talking about, don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe to Celeb Scoop 247. We break down the gossip behind the gossip every single week. From leaked videos to viral feuds, we bring you the full story, raw, unfiltered, and with all the juicy context the other channels miss. So go ahead, hit that button, because this tea's just getting started.